So my name is Sergey Kazachenko. I am a founder of a company called Navian, an investor in a couple of other tech startups, both in Spain and in Sweden, where I'm from. And Navian has been a phenomenal journey. We have started a company focused on PropTech vertical, working with digitalization of real estate investments and helping developers to bring the modern technology into their operations. Yes, I've spent my professional career in Sweden, but I came originally from Russia. So I was born in Russia, but I was raised in Sweden. So my professional career has been all about investment banking and investments. And I worked in Sweden, I worked in UK, in US. But the most interesting part is I actually arrived to Sweden on my own when I was 15, which forced me to adjust to the new culture quite quickly. And the first business I founded was already when I was 17. It was very small, very symbolic, but still something that helped me going and started my kind of entrepreneurial journey. And it was an interesting journey to start a company at 17 in Sweden in a small village. It was an experience. My business was about international expansion for Swedish companies. So I helped organizations and companies to establish international sales, a lot of it to Russia and Eastern Europe. I've done it for a couple of years, and one of the Swedish banks called Swedbank were in a position to expand into the new region, as they call it, a popular region at the time. I was recruited to help that process, kind of to bridge the gap culturally and operationally between the operations in Sweden and the new markets, as they call it. I've spent about 10 years in investment banking, and latest my company was Pareto. I was working a lot with primary transactions, so capital raisings, M&As, IPOs. About 8 years ago, I decided to jump over to the entrepreneurial route where I started. It's been a big passion of mine, it's been a big focus of mine, and I felt it was the time. And now for the 8 years I have been investing and building tech startups. So Navian has been a very interesting journey. It's not something we planned to start. So the first thing I did when I jumped off the investment banking career was focusing on investing in real estate. And going through that process myself, I realized how outdated and inefficient some of the processes in the real estate development industry is, and decided that there is something we can do about it. So we actually didn't plan to become a tech entrepreneurs originally. It kind of happened by own experience. We built technology solutions for our own operations, our own investments, and realized there is a demand for it. So we started our clients and partners that asking us about using what we've built, and we realized, well, that's actually a bigger market opportunity than just doing a traditional real estate development. So we switched and focused on building software that others can use, and therefore increase the efficiency in real estate development, and meaning that kind of bring the technology and make the profitability of the industry much better. With that, it's become a lot of positive impact. I mean, cheaper housing, we're talking about more environmental friendly solutions and other elements of it. Of course, it hasn't been easy. We were very early. We started talking about artificial intelligence in real estate before artificial intelligence was a thing. Initially, people kind of half laughed us out of the room. And now people are calling in to ask, well, how we can do this? How can you help us? So we had to kind of develop and rebuild the product a couple of times, build the process a couple of times, because we were very early on in the development. The focus for Navian during the last 2 years has been largely on releasing a new version of the product. So we had a larger team focused on it. I mean, we're over 20 people working on it right now. The new version of the product should be so self-explanatory that anybody can use it. And we're talking to anybody in the industry, but as well people outside of the industry can be effective enough by using this tool, and almost people who have not been real estate investors and developers in the past will get enough information, enough data, and the process will be simple enough that anybody can become a developer, in a sense. Obviously, it's a very ambitious target, probably unrealistic to realize, but it's part of the journey of being an entrepreneur, dreaming for something that might be a little bit out of reach as of now. We're looking forward in the next 3 months. The new version is going live. we'll see. It will be a very interesting milestone in the business that we have worked for overall for over 2 years. So very excited about that. It's been a journey. Obviously, I have a personal connection to Marbella. I got married in Marbella very long time ago, and we keep coming back. Every year we would visit for a week or two. And once, it was a funny story, it was the 1st of May, a big holiday in Sweden. We were sitting on the balcony in Spain, sunshine, 30 degrees, perfect weather. And we're looking on Instagram pictures of our friends who were celebrating in Sweden. It was +2 and raining. And my wife was looking at me and asking, well, why don't we spend more time in Spain? So that was the decision. I spend a lot of my time in Sweden. Still, that's my focus, obviously, with the team and the business. But it become much easier to be here. COVID helped a lot, digital meetings. And we're starting to relocate some of our people, some of our consultants to Spain. So now we have a number of consultants that work with us part-time and full-time that only work out of Marbella, and fantastic offices that we're in. The value that it brings, we've actually been able to reduce some of our cost for the company by hiring a great talent elsewhere, and not in Marbella in particular, but then offering them relocation to Spain and to the cost that they'll solve. And funny enough, people accept much more realistic compensation packages when you say that their place of they're going to live in is Marbella. So actually, we've been able to recruit people with companies like Google and others on a significant discount to what we would have to offer them in Stockholm or in other locations they were present at before, just because the lifestyle they can offer in conjunction with it. Obviously, the life for them doesn't differ. They're still in the offices, they work full time. There is no difference to that, but just the feeling that the weekends you're going to spend, on the beach, if that's what you like, or not needing to worry about the winter clothes in Stockholm. It makes a big difference. So actually, you end up with the phenomenal people in your team because of the location. So I've spent a lot of time, and Marbella has become a part of my annual routine. I think that's the way to call it. I have met a lot of good people. I met a lot of entrepreneurs that I probably wouldn't have the chance to meet back in Stockholm and London, because they're bigger cities. There's many more people. Being here, it's very concentrated. The communities are small. We all spend time together when I'm here, of course, and we end up social events, all from dinners to sport activities, paddle, football, you name it. If you look on the people I surround myself with here compared to what it was before, it's different. It's not better worth, it's different, and it's something they appreciate. I usually say that in Sweden, I'm always, despite being there for 25 years, I'm still partially a foreigner. But here, we had this birthday party that I went to another day, and it was 30 people in the birthday party, and at that birthday party we had 28 nationalities, which it's unheard of, and everybody come from a background of entrepreneurship, of investments, of doing something interesting. So every meeting is a life story, and that's very unique. I appreciate it a lot. One of the things I've been doing is working with real estate. And of course, when I started spending a little bit more time in Marbella, I wanted to find a place to work. There were limited options. So I thought, well, there must be something I can do. And I started looking at actually building a co-working facility on my own as an investment for me. Find the perfect location, I thought. I actually made an offer already on the building. And that I met this crazy guy called Martin and his partner, who is even more crazier than, and Freddie Martin convinced me there is no point of competing, let's do it together. And that's how kind of the pool became a part of my daily life, I guess, when I'm in Spain. And I think it was the best decision. Again, back to the people that you managed to meet. It's been a very interesting experience for me and for the business. And funny enough, on the back of the people I met, I actually invested in a few businesses following me being more in the pool. So the pool have had an impact on our operations. Obviously, the people that we've relocated, that team has expanded with some of the people we've met at the pool. We've talked to a number of potential investors to our business, and I personally have found people to invest into, or businesses to invest into. It's very easy when you chit-chat and you have a coffee and you talk about something, and since all people are similar mindset, it's entrepreneurship, it's investments, it's technology, you end up doing something together. So yeah, I think it's a very good network. So my advice for those who are thinking about starting a business would be, don't be shy of ending up in networks, in physical spaces where you can find those people and gain knowledge from what they've done right, but equally from what they've done wrong. And the more the person have done, the more you're going to hear about the things that they have not done as they should. I think it's a common thing, is like you learn by your mistakes, and don't be shy of admitting it and sharing it. But you can only do it once you have people around you who actually have done something and have experienced something. And that's been probably the biggest game changer for me for my business, is kind of how to move it forward.